everybody. This is Angela from Texas, and you're listening to 5 Picks and a Chick featuring El Gato. This is the show that gives you 5 NFL picks for people who love football and friendly wagering. However, we are in the off-season, so we're going to give you 5 NBA picks on the playoffs. Today we are joined by our special guest, Big Zay. Thanks for being with us, Big Zay.
Thank y'all for having me.
All right. NCAA Championship, I went 4-1, and El Gato went 2-3. Our off-season record is 14-6, and El Gato is 10-10. Not too bad, El Gato.
Yeah, I'll take 10-10. I mean, it's still moving along. I've lost a little bit on the how do you say it, the VIG, the interest, but off season is a little has been a little challenging, but you're sporting a good record at 14-6, so overall between both of us, we're 24-16, you winning the majority of the games, but hey, we'll take it.
Yeah, not too bad. I like it. Any comments on that championship game?
I mean, UConn was just the cream of the crop for the tournament. They came in as a 4 seed, and they just wiped everyone clean.
Dominated.
That's all I can say about that. They just dominated everybody.
Dominated. I think their average for points over their opponent was 20 points. So they dominated. But good for you.
Just to add one more thing, in their conference, they were struggling mid January, and the coach, I forget his name, slips my mind, but anyway, the coach had a couple of meetings with the players, and there was a couple of team player only meetings, and look at the way they turned it around over the next couple of months, and then to just charge into the tournament and take the championship. So
yeah, I think that just proves that it's not just physical but mental when you play those big games.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, my first pick is going to be Game 1, Sacramento Kings versus Golden State. This is a pick'em. I'm taking the Kings in the first game of the series being played in Sacramento. The Kings lead the NBA in points per game, and even though they are not the best defensive team, they are facing a Golden State team that was terrible on the road this year, going 11-30 on the road. So obviously Golden State has the edge and experience, but Sacramento has been the better team the whole year. The Kings will steal Game 1 in this pick'em. Any thoughts on this game, El Gato?
Yeah, I agree with you. Sacramento top offense in the NBA. I mean, all their players can score the ball. Like you say, Golden State has that core group, Stefan and I forget the Dubs. I mean, they're termed the Dubs, right? For a reason. They can score the ball too, and they've got the NBA championship.
The Splash Brothers. You talking about Klay Thompson?
The Splash Brothers, yeah, the Splash Brothers.
Yeah.
And of course, we know they can score the ball, and they've got the championship pedigree. But like Angela brings up, Sacramento is, they're hungry too. They're in the playoffs for a reason. They earned it, and I'm gonna go with Angela on this one. I'm gonna pick Sacramento on this pick'em game.
All right. Any thoughts on this game, Big Zay?
I do agree with you. I do think that the Kings are gonna steal the first game, but I think they're gonna be a good series overall. The playoffs this year totally. There's a bunch of new faces. New teams who usually we ain't used to seeing who made it to the playoffs this year, which it's pretty cool. It's just like the NCAA tournament. It's new teams all around in basketball this year, which is awesome. But yeah, this is going to be a good series. It's experience versus youth. The Warriors, man, you can never count them out. But overall, though, I do agree with the first game. I think the Kings steal this one, but I think that Steph and the Splash Bros and the rest of the Warriors, they figure it out for the series.
All right.
Yeah, I like that. My second pick is going to be Clippers over the Phoenix Suns in the series. This is plus 355. Although the Suns are the favorite to come out of the West, they are one of the lowest scoring teams in the playoffs, averaging only 113 points a game. Although they have the best starting lineup in the league, they have zero depth after taking the trade for Durant. On the other hand, the Clippers have a couple of superstars in their own right with Kawhi, Westbrook, Paul George. Hopefully Paul George can come back from his injury and play in this series. But if not, they have a lot of depth with 3 other guards that are serviceable to play his minutes. This will be a tough series, but the Clippers pull it out in 7. What are your thoughts on this series, Big Zay?
For this one, I think that I'm actually going to go the other way. I like the Phoenix Suns. I think they just have too much star power. Their offense, I know this. You said about the stats, but they were one of the lowest scoring team, I believe. Correct?
Correct.
With all due respect, I feel like you kind of got to put that stat, take it with a grain of salt, because if you're telling me with a team with Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, I mean, those are 2 of the most prolific scorers in the league. And not to mention, this team also does have the point guard, Chris Paul, and there's also DeAndre Ayton down low, which I think is, I think all around this is a solid team. One of the best starting fives. You did mention earlier that, their bench is going to kill them, which I do agree. But overall, I think that with all that star power, especially on the offensive side of the ball, I think it would be too much for the Clippers to handle. So I'm going to go on the other side of this one, and I'm going to say that the Phoenix Suns take this series.
All right. What are your thoughts on this game, El Gato?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very competitive series. I mean, the Clippers are the 5 seed. The Suns are the 4 seed. The Suns adding Durant a month or 2 ago. Of course, he's missed about 3 or 4 weeks out of those 2 months. But he just brings an added dimension in the scoring. He can score at will just about at any position. And that is going to free up Booker, free up Ayton. Clippers, though, can defend the ball. They got Kawhi Leonard. They've got Paul George. They've got Westbrook when he's got his head on right and not causing problems with his other teammates. But, yeah, he can be an issue, too, over dribbling and ball hogging as the term is used. But, God, I can't wait to see this series. I want to agree with you, Angela. It's going to go 7, but I'm going to go the other way and take the Suns only because they have the home court advantage and Durant being the added piece to outscore the Clippers on this one. It's going to be tight, though.
Yeah.
So do y'all think that I'm sorry to interrupt.
That's okay.
Do y'all think that the I guess previous rivalry between Westbrook and Durant, you think it's going to come out in this series? I mean, I know that Westbrook ain't the player who he used to be, and at times, there's been some time to heal that so-on-so friendship that they have. But do y'all think it's going to come out in this series, or you think they're going to just completely disregard it?
No, I think it will come out. My thought on this game, to add to what I said, was with the Phoenix Suns, they've got no depth, like I said. So one injury, and man, they are limping in this playoff. So I just that's kind of my thought on my pick.
Yeah, I think that the bench depth issue for the Suns, may come up if it's a 7-game series, which I think it will be. And, like Angela says, an injury, someone getting into foul trouble that, someone needs to get pulled. And then getting back to your original question, Big Zay, Westbrook thrives on being angry on the court and having being pissed off at somebody. Yeah. So, yeah, he uses that to his advantage to step up his game, whether, he plays well or plays poorly. That's the way the teams have to accept him. His teammates. It's going to be the good and the bad when he has that chip or he targets someone to be to have a personal battle with on the court, and that's just the way he plays.
Right. Yeah. And in my mind, I'm just picturing maybe a jump ball and 2 players are going for the ball, one from the Suns, one from the Clippers, and it just so happens to be Kevin Durant and Westbrook, and they just, in the heat of the moment, they get into it, and then boom, here we go again.
He goes Tanya Harding for the knees, right?
Exactly.
It would make things so much. It would make it so great.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Yeah, and
Can't wait.
I just think that's Westbrook's MO on that. So,
Yeah.
yep. All right. Big Zay, do you have a third pick for us?
I do. For my pick, I'm going to go with the Lakers over the Grizzlies for the series. I think the Lakers, they're coming off an ugly play-in win, but I still think they have what it takes to win the series. D'Angelo Russell will need to step it up. I don't think that he's going to play. He kind of has struggled this past playing game. I don't think that happens from here on out. I think he shows everybody the reason why the Lakers traded for him and really, takes his place on this team and, runs that point guard position and is one of the catalysts on that team. The Lakers are the more experienced team, and they're coming in with some momentum. They won 9 of their last 11 games, so that's just another reason why I think that the Lakers take this series. The Grizzlies are pretty banged up. They got bitten by the injury bug as of late. They're not going to have Steven Adams down low. And for me, if Anthony Davis gets going and keeps going, I think he's going to be too much for Jaren Jackson down there. And like I said, without Steven Adams, that's going to help Anthony Davis on the boards. But, LeBron's going to do LeBron. He's going to be LeBron. He's going to do his thing. So I think that this is all going to determine whether AD, Russell, the supporting cast for the Lakers step it up and, take it over this young, great Memphis team, who I think they're going to be great in the years to come. But I think just for right now, I'm not taking them over LeBron. LeBron has only lost one time his whole career in the first round. Only been bounced from the playoffs one time his whole career in the first round. So, so I got the Lakers taking the Grizzlies in the series.
All right.
Well, I don't believe in conspiracy theories, but
well, tell us what you think.
I think the NBA would love the Lakers to advance. I know we shouldn't think that way, but I think it sometimes it's, I don't know, sometimes it looks obvious, but I'm going to be. I agree with everything what Big Zay said. I mean, the Lakers are coming in hot. They've got the low post player in AD. They've got the point guard. They've got, of course, LeBron at the power spot, or really can play any spot on the floor. You got Memphis with a top defense. Of course, Adams is out. He's going to not be able to clean up the boards on the offense or the defensive side. You got Morant dealing with issues, coming back from suspension. How good is he going to play? But they're not the 2 seed for nothing. I mean, they've earned it the whole season. I'm going to be the contrarian here. I do think the public and a lot of the pundits are going for the Lakers, thinking it's a great matchup for them. But I'm going to be the contrarian here and go with Memphis, a 6-game series. I'll take Memphis on this one.
All right. Well, back here I'm saying, whoa, are you kidding me? On this game, the Lakers are plus 120 over Memphis for the series. I like the Lakers in this matchup. They are bigger, more experienced, and they have the 2 best players on the court in AD and LeBron. No disrespect for John Morant. I'm taking the Lakers in this series.
All right, that's a good pick.
All right.
I'll tell you what, though, I am expecting Desmond Bane to play the villain in this series, though. I think he's going to go after LeBron or AD and try to get in their head, almost like a Draymond Green for the Warriors. So I'm interested to see that. It's crazy. I'm more interested to see the drama than I am the actual gameplay.
Yeah. That's a good point. We'll see if it gets chippy out there.
Yeah. All right, El Gato, you got a 4th and 5th pick for us?
I've got a 4th and 5th pick for my for my 4th pick. I'm going to go back to the Sacramento Kings and Golden State Warriors. I'm going to go with the over 238.5 on this one. Both teams average anywhere between 118 and 126, sometimes stretching to 129 on the upper side. So I think if this is game 1 of the playoff series, I think they're both teams are going to just go up and down the court, score the ball. And so I'm looking for a high-scoring game, maybe in the 245 range. So For me, I'm gonna go with the over on this one at 238.5.
Big Zay, what are your thoughts on this game?
I agree with Elgato. I think it's going to be the over as well. I think it's going to be a lot of offensive power. There's too much offense on both teams, so I agree 100% with Elgato. I think the over will be met in this game, especially with the game one. Everybody wants to score, and that's what the league is now. All it is score. No defense, just score. So, with that being said, I agree.
All right. Well, I am actually going against you guys. I am going under. Although we have two explosive offenses, it tends to slow down in the playoffs, and the team will be feeling each other out. So I think it will go under in this game.
Well, I hope they don't feel each other out too much to score the ball, okay?
I knew you would say something, El Gato.
you teed it up for me so well. I had to say something.
Exactly. I know you. So, hey, what about a fifth pick, El Gato?
All right, I'm going to go with the Celtics versus the Hawks. I'm going to go with the Celtics in the series. They are minus 1430. So you have to put down, let me do some napkin math here. You need to put down $1,430 to win 100.
Yes.
But sometimes getting a quick 100 is better than losing.
Yep.
No, I think it's gonna be a tough series. I mean, the Hawks, have those two point guards, Young and Murphy, if I spelled his name correctly here. But I think the Celtics, if they can neutralize those two guys and hold them down to their low 20 per game. I know Trae Young averages mid to upper 20s, sometimes even into the 30s. But if you can neutralize those two offensive starters and how they get the offense going, I think the Celtics can win this one. It's going to be a competitive series. I know the Hawks are number 7, but the Celtics have some experience. They have Tatum, they have Smart, they have Brown. I think though he has an injured hand, and Horford, and they have a decent bench. So they go about 2 or 3 deep. They're ranked number 2 in the East, right behind the Bucks. They've proved all year they can play. So I think it's going to be a tough series. It always is. I think it's going to go 6. I'll take the Celtics on this one.
All right. Do you have any thoughts on this game, Big Zay?
Yeah, I agree with Elgato. I like the Celtics. I think they'll completely destroy the Hawks, in my opinion. I really don't like the Hawks. I really don't like Trae Young. I really don't. I think that, the Hawks in the middle of the season, they fired their coach because Trae Young wasn't getting along with the coach. And I just don't agree with that. It just shows the player empowerment that's going on with that team. But no, anyways, that set aside, I like the Celtics in this one. I think they have way too much star power for the Hawks to defend, for the Hawks to handle. I think Tatum shows up and continues to dominate. But, yeah, it might be a good little series, but at the end of the day, the Celtics will take care of business and do what they do.
I agree with you, Big Zay.
All right. Well, although I like the Celtics in this series as well, there isn't much value here considering they are big favorites. It is a solid pick, but you would get very little return on your money, so I would protect my money, and I'd probably just sit out this series. No disrespect to Elgato.
All right. No disrespect taken.
All right. Big Zay, do you have a bonus bet for us?
I do have a bonus bet. My bonus bet's going to be game 1 of the series between the Nets and the 76ers, and I actually have the Nets stealing one. The reason why I have the Nets is because this game is going to be pretty emotional. This series is going to be whole emotional. Of course, they've made a trade. I believe his name is Bridges, Michael Bridges, and I think they traded him for Ben Simmons. Ever since Bridges has gone to Brooklyn, he has completely just balled out. So I think that he has a big game in game 1. He shows the 76ers that they made a mistake. And, yeah, so I got the money line. I got the Nets taking game 1 against the 76ers.
All right. Any comments on that pick, Elgato?
I don't. I think it's going to be a competitive, not on a specific game, on the series. I do think it'll be a competitive series. Both teams can can play defense. Bridges, of course, as Big Zay says, goes on over to the Nets and starts playing well. And Embiid, if he stays healthy, he can perform well in the series also. And we'll just see what happens. It should be a good competitive series. I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Yeah, I'll be a spectator in this game. I'll be rooting for Philly. But I don't really have an opinion on the game. But good luck, Big Zay.
And the money line, the number for that one is at plus 300 for game one.
All
so
right.
I just thought I'd throw that in there.
All right. Sounds good. Any final comments?
No, here we are, NBA playoff season already. I mean, the season is a long season, starts, late October, and we're finally here, and I'm looking forward to wall-to-wall coverage. There'll probably be a game or two on just about every night for the next couple of weeks, so it gets good this time of year.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead, Big Zay.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Gato. I think some will say this is when the actual real basketball. I think this is when the actual real basketball starts to be played. You see passion on the floor. You see players, acting like they're playing for something. So playoff time is always, one of the greatest times for basketball. So I'm very excited to check it out.
Yeah, I agree. I love NBA playoffs, and it's like we have a game, like y'all said, almost every night, and it goes through June until we get to the championship game. So this is a fun time, and so what are y'all's predictions for who will be in the NBA Finals? I like Lakers versus the Bucks.
Oh, wow. Lakers out of a 7 seed going through the grind of that's a ballsy call, but I like it.
All right. What are your thoughts, Big Zay?
Yeah, honestly, with the West, you could probably pick about 6 teams who can possibly make it to the finals. But for me, when I look at it, and I got to agree with you on that one exactly. Like, I think the Lakers and the Bucks, honestly, at the end, and which will make for a complete awesome finals to see Giannis go up against the Lakers team. So yeah, that's who I got.
All right.
I'm gonna go with an either or. I know that's a little bushy, but I'm gonna go either Nuggets and Suns, either the Nuggets or the Suns versus the Celtics.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll pick the Celtics out of the East, but I'll go with an either or on the West. Like Big Zay says, there's a lot of tough teams.
Yeah. When you have the Warriors as a 6 seed,
as a 6,
that just tells you how good that conference has been. I know times have changed and players get a little bit older, but the Warriors are still the Warriors. I mean, you still got Curry, you still got the whole team, Kerr. I mean, I think it's awesome. This should be a good one.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Well, my final comment is 146 days until NFL kickoff. Just wanted to throw that out there. Just had to throw that out there. Well, thank you for listening to 5 Picks and a Chick. Be sure to tell your friends about us. Also hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel as well as the like button. You can also find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And you can also ask Alexa to play our podcast. Thank you to Big Zay for joining us today.
Thank y'all for having me.
Make sure to join us in 2 weeks. Our guest picker will be Rudy. As always, thank you to El Gato for being part of 5 Picks and a Chick. 1, 2, 3, break!